we're the ones who got our son back. And never forget that there's so many that didn't come home and so many more that are still out there.
That's Annie Remsburg, mom of wounded Army Ranger Cory Remsburg, shortly after he finally came home after years in a war zone and months in a hospital. Tomorrow is the day we honor those who didn't make it back. The Remsburg family believes that they're blessed because their son did. Army Ranger Cory Remsburg is on the road to recovery. It's a long road and it's slow going, but as we found out, he's showing as much courage now as he did on the battlefield.
Oh, it's so good to see you.
Good to see you too.
For at least one graduate, Rittner in northwest St. Louis County is more than a school. It's home.
It is so good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Cory Remsburg is a 2001 graduate, a former percussionist in the band. When he comes back to visit the band room,
Thank you, sir.
Students come up to shake his hand.
Thank you for serving our country.
Cory Remsburg is treated like a hero.
I appreciate it.
Because that's exactly what he is.
Cory is here tonight. And like the Army he loves, like the America he serves, Sergeant First Class Cory Remsburg never gives up and he does not quit.
Remsburg is the Army Ranger who was celebrated by President Obama at this year's State of the Union address. Though he was honored to be there, during a sustained standing ovation, he was thinking about all the other wounded warriors.
So the standing ovation was not for me, it was for everybody.
Sergeant Remsburg served 10 tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. It was during that 10th deployment, October 1st, 2009, when his father got a phone call that he thought was from Cory.
And I immediately went to the mode of, hey, Cory, how you doing? In anticipation of a response, and the response I got was, this is Cory's company commander. And that's when it hit. I knew that something was wrong.
Cory had been severely injured. Shrapnel from a roadside bomb pierced his brain, paralyzing the left side of his body and causing blindness in his right eye. He was brought to a VA hospital in Florida, and coming out of a 3.5-month coma is the first thing he remembers.
Waking up in Tampa, unable to move on. I thought, oh, done. I'm in trouble. What's wrong with my arm?
Since then, he'll tell you, he's been in a bigger battle than anything he ever faced overseas.
Every day, 5 days a week, he's on a shuttle to the therapy 25 miles away.
4 to 6 hours a day, he's learning to talk again and walk again, as he showed us. You're doing great.
Thanks.
He's taking each challenge one step at a time.
I sat down with him, I said, so what's going on? Why? How come you're so patient? And he looked at me, he says, what choice do I have?
Though he and his family now live in Phoenix, the Remsburgs come to St. Louis as often as possible.
We have a lot of friends here in this town. It's just a wonderful, awesome town.
How we doing? Seen you on TV before.
Depending on the time of year, you might see him hanging with the St. Louis Blues at Scott Trade Center.
It looked good, didn't it?
Yeah, he did. Still does.
Or back with old friends at Rittner High.
Good to see you.
And while the roadside bomb may have temporarily taken his independence, it didn't take his sense of humor. Recalling that night at the State of the Union, I asked him what else he was thinking about during the standing ovation.
Don't fall.
There is clearly plenty of fight left in this Army Ranger. And though he doesn't live here anymore, the St. Louis area can always say it's home to Sergeant First Class Cory Remsburg. In other words, home of the brave. Cory told me he's grateful for all the love and support that he has here in St. Louis, especially from the Joshua Chamberlain Society, which aids wounded military men and women, and has adopted Cory as a JCS hero.